Alright, well, it's much later than I would like for it to be. It's pushing 11:15 right now, and we've still got a couple hours on the road yet. However, all in the name of ideally getting on a turkey in the morning. So, yeah, got some highly caffeinated beverages and music and podcasts to get me there. I guess the only way you'd probably be seeing this video is if I successfully self-film something, which is not something I've done yet for turkey. So, gonna try to commit to it this weekend. I guess I only have tomorrow, which is the opener. With Easter Sunday, we'll be coming back home. So, gonna spend a few hours in the woods. This will be the first year, I think, ever on this property that I haven't done any sort of preseason scouting, or at least just roosting turkeys the night before I plan to hunt. I'm pretty much going in entirely blind. I don't have any cameras out, and I have no idea if there's been turkeys in the area at all this spring. Either way, you'll be along for the ride. So we got a couple hours yet here on the road, and hopefully catch a couple hours of sleep as well. Alright, well, we made it. However, my concern that I had on the way down has come to reality. It's a little after 1 a.m. and back here on the driveway, if you can see, we've got some logs. So, got the boots on, grabbed a pair of gloves, and we're usually good for a good flood or two here every spring. So, it's a long driveway, and I got some logs to remove before I can get all the way back here. So, gonna get to work on this, and hopefully we'll be in bed here shortly. Phase 1 is complete, and I say phase 1 because this isn't the spot on the driveway where we normally have issues with stumps and trees and debris, but this past flood was so big that this spot evidently was underwater as well. And what we found is the high spots are where stuff gets left behind. So I was pretty much moving full trees and all kinds of junk. I got the big stuff out of the way, hoping not to catch a, nail or something in a tire, because I'm driving over the small stuff. I'm just gonna go slow. But the second part, where we normally have these issues, I can't see yet. So this was pretty quick, took me maybe 20 minutes. So we're gonna roll up here, and hopefully this next section is not as bad. We're gonna go slow. We can get around these ones, but I see logs. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I see a lot of logs. Okay. This will be the home stretch, and it looks like it's gonna take some work, so back to it. Alright, well, it's a little after 2, and it took us about an hour to get things cleared up, get back here, load everything inside. Getting up at 5:30 or so. So basically, I don't think it'd be fair to call this a night's rest, more like a nap. But gonna lay down, got everything laid out here, and yeah, after all this, I can only hope that there's a few hard gobbling turkeys to be chased in the morning. So we'll find out here shortly. Alright, those birds that you heard on the roost are birds that I've hunted, not those specific birds. I've hunted birds that have been roosted up there for the last few years, and I've pretty much been able to kill them every year. I heard at least one different bird further into the property, and I have no idea where this dude's at. He's still gobbling, but I'm electing to go after him just for the sake of adventure, I suppose. Usually I'm able to get back on those ones later in the day if I need to, but this one's got me intrigued because the sound carries weird down here, and I have no idea where he's at, but I have a rough guess, and I'm gonna head at him and see if I'm right. We guessed him right. He beat us though. Up here to this food plot. I've never hunted a turkey up here, but it's where he's at, so I'm coming in from below him. It'll be tough to get up there, but we'll see what we can do. Whew. He's got to be just out there strutting. We'll see if we can make something work. Property layout to drop back, loop around this finger, and then run up the side of this ridge to the spine. That'll basically dump me on a trail up top that'll go back down towards that food plot. And there's enough of a bend in the food plot that if he is on that one end, I'll be able to get in position and ideally call him up to the other end and get a shot. He's not super talkative though. I only got like 20 more yards to get up here, so I was trying to calm down a little bit, get my heart rate under check before I get the rest of the way up. we can step this off here. However, just real quick, he was coming down this big deer trail. We were set up right there. Fortunately, I had some multiflora rose that kind of hid the camera because I don't have any camo or netting or anything for it yet. So we were able to film that one, which was pretty exciting to me. You literally can't write that up any better than how it happened too. Just hard gobbling, that last gobble right in our face at like 25 yards. And he had made it, he kept going beyond the food plot. I didn't have time to stop and mention that, but I got out to the food plot, or almost to it, and I could hear a bird gobbling even further south, which I knew I was either going to bump the food plot bird, or that was him, and he had continued on down. So I went ahead and made a play, went through the food plot, got down here and got set up, because I could still hear this bird gobbling only a couple hundred yards to the south. Got set up there, and he committed like crazy. I'm glad that setup worked. I want to step that off just out of curiosity. I would guess at 25-ish. Seven yards. Not too bad. It's not the longest spurred turkey I've ever killed. However, I mean, he's got some pretty decent hooks on him. I mean, that's certainly not your standard 2-year-old like the vast majority of the birds that we kill. So that is super, super cool.